Maximus. What's up, you guys? Man, you know what? I might stop tweeting out when I'm going live. I'm just going to do it. So, shout out to all the people that are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, hit subscribe, hit that notification just so you know when I'm going live, because it's just one more step for me to tweet it out. So I'm not doing that anymore. If you want to know when I'm going live, just subscribe, hit that notification, and you'll know. Man, happy Saturday. Hope you guys are having a great day. I just got back from the Bay. I live in Southern California, just enjoying some sun, beautiful weather, a little hot. I got a little sunburn today, but it was a good day. My parents are still in town. They're living that retired life, so they just hop in the RV and go wherever they want to go. So they're here for 2 weeks. So trying to launch the best product ever in existence while spending time with the family. Yeah, it's been fun, but it's also a little challenging. I'm trying to reply to you guys, trying to answer all the questions. It's going a little viral. And so yeah, guys, as far as questions go, man, our team, myself, Dip Catcher, we're trying our best. I just want you guys to know that. I try to answer every question I see, whether it's on Twitter or in Telegram. No dumb questions. We're very, very excited for all the people that are joining and that are getting excited about Maximus, because we are too. But yeah, guys, just patience with us. I mean, I feel like I've been on top of it for the most part. Big shout out to the leaders in our community that have spent the time to understand Maximus and are answering questions. That's been so helpful, guys. You have no idea, and that's been a huge part of why we've been growing, how we've been growing. So shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to hop on. We're getting close to the announcement for a launch date, which shouldn't be. It will be. The launch date will likely be pretty close to when we announce it. So right around the corner. We got our audit back, which was a huge checkbox for us, and I know a lot of people in the community that they need that to feel a little more secure with the contract. So security audit passed. We're finishing our public test on Pulse Chain Testnet V2B. So I tweeted out when that ends. Let me pull that up real quick just to confirm. So it's based off of Hex days, and Hex is based off of UTC. Let me pull up the Maximus Twitter. So I've been tweeting a lot today, just trying to get information out there. So the test stake in function can be run on Hex day 860. Once run, the test redemption phase begins, and anyone can redeem test hexahedron with test MAXI. So I believe we're about. Let me check UTC time right now. 11:12 p.m. So in 45 minutes, it will tick over to day. Let's go stop. Find the hex day right now. 8:59. Okay, so if you guys always want to know the hex day, just go to go.hex.com / transform or stake. It's day 8:59 right now, so it's about to tick over to in about 45 minutes, day 860. So that is when the end stake function can be run for the test stake. And once that function is run, that is the beginning of the redemption phase, and we will probably give that a day. for, people to try it out, but more so for us just to kind of a sanity check on the math, just make sure that the redemption value is correct. Um, and once we test that, so redemption phase never ends, right? Like, and that goes for mainnet launch as well. So when redemption phase starts, you can redeem the hex principal plus interest and hedron anytime after that. The hex and hedron will just sit in the contract until it's redeemed. So there's no no good accounting on that. You can redeem it anytime, and that goes for test phase as well. But for us, we'll probably just give that a day just to allow people to test before we announce, and also just for us to check it as well. So yeah, so give us a day on that, and then we'll announce the launch date. So very, very exciting stuff. Let me see if there's anyone in. What's up, Dipcatcher? Welcome, welcome, my man. Super pumped. We are too, man. I'm glad you're pumped. Sydney finally not raining. Man, you're on the other side of the world. That's so cool, man. Okay, so Dipcatcher said the test days are delayed. It's still day 858 on testing. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so then we'll have to wait one more day for. Okay, that's it. Thank you for pointing that out, Dipcatcher. So it will be on one more day before the in-state function can be run, and then that's when redemption phase will start. God, Maximus, it's very, very simple, but we do have some words that are a little bit of a tongue twister. Let's see. Yeah, so very, very exciting stuff, guys. A lot of people have been asking, how do I get ready for Maximus? Just buy Hex, man. Just buy Hex. Great time to buy right now. Let me check price. 13.6. Ooh, will it break down? I mean, literally, I just streamed yesterday and it was at the exact same place. And I still have a little remaining powder that I want to get into Hex, so I'm trying to lock in a good price for that. I would love to buy at 10, but it's pushing on where I would definitely buy at like 14 if it's like looking it's going to break up. First world probs, just trying to DCA in. Dipcatcher said just a few hours. Okay, cool. Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let me pull up if we've gotten any Twitter questions I can address on stream. Feel free if you guys have any questions. A little bit of an AMA today, so feel free to drop them in the comments. I'd happily answer those. So if you guys aren't following, I'm trying to drop as much Maximus Alpha on our Twitter as possible. So our Twitter is Maximus_DAO, DAO. Today I tweeted about like what redemption is, what minting is. So just trying to bring as much clarity as possible. I am finding, I think we're bringing in a lot of people, like non-hexagon people, which is really exciting. And just with some of the questions that are coming in, because like Maximus, its cornerstone is hex and hex staking. So people that already understand those are like very quick to understand Maximus. They just kind of get it. People that aren't as familiar with hex and hex staking, there's a little bit of a learning curve. So I did tweet out our white paper, and in that I wrote out like the introductory information would be really valuable for you to read. Just kind of explaining what hex is, how hex staking works, as well as like what a smart contract is. So if you don't know about hex already, feel free, and I would encourage you to read that just to get like some good baseline information in. And then I think everything else will make a lot more sense. But yeah, I mean, it's been really cool. I think a lot of light bulbs have been going off recently with how powerful Maximus really is. Um, and people are excited for different reasons. I know a lot of small stakers are very excited for the gas fee savings. A lot of whales are very excited for the liquidity aspect of the Maximus stake and the Maxi token. Um, so yeah, it's been really, really awesome. It's kind of exploding right now, and again, we're trying to field all the questions as best as possible. Um, so little patience there, but I promise you, we'll get back to you as soon as possible with questions on Twitter and Telegram. Dave Catcher said, "Dude, just buy the buy button." I think you're talking about me trying to swap for some hex right now, but the stakes are just so much higher with Maximus. Like, with the mint phase, it's not just one hex anymore. It's like one maxi could be worth like a lot more hex. So I'm trying to get as much hex as possible. So I've already got some powder, some hex powder, but I'm just trying to add to that as much as possible. What's up, Roof Dog? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I'm glad you're buying some too, man. Still a great price. Again, still a great price. So Andrew said, question, what happens with any airdrops that might go to T shareholders? That's a good question. And I was actually chatting with Dipcatcher today. So this was his response on airdrops. So he said, depending on how the airdrop works, it is unlikely that Maximus will be able to claim airdrops. For obvious security reasons, we don't allow open-ended contract calling. So future unknown contracts are impossible to be called on behalf of Maximus. The only tokens that may be transferred out of Maximus are Hex and Hedron. I think that's a really good answer. So, the design of Maximus, where we were really, the constraints that we were designing out of were to keep it as simple as possible for two reasons. One, to make it very understandable for anyone to just be able to pick up on Maximus very quickly, but also to really reduce the smart contract risk, right? So when you're talking about creating other calls for airdrops in the future, you're opening the door for malicious actors to come in and take advantage of you. So just to, again, this is the first go, this is the proof of concept, and we've kept it as simple as possible. And already, I mean, if you do the math, like having both hex, the hex price, the hex yield, hedron yield, and hedron price as a multiplier, Maxi tokens are going to be worth a lot. So, when you're looking at like added benefits of future airdrops, it's a risk we weren't willing to take on this one, and we think that we have enough faith in Hex, because this originally started with only Hex, with the Hex price and yield, being our baseline value. And luckily Hedron launched and added a whole nother variable that adds to that value. So, we're at this point, we're very satisfied with that. Hope you guys are too. And we just didn't want to open up the contract to that kind of risk. So great question though. If anyone else has any questions, it looks like I've got a few people in here. Happy to answer anything. So feel free to just drop them in the comments. I'll try to look back through our notifications, see if there's some common questions. So someone asked, does it cost gas to mint Maxi? Yes, it will cost gas. Just like any other transaction. Hard to say what the gas fee would be because we've only tested on Pulse Chain testnet. But it will likely be less than like a Uniswap swap. So for minting it won't be that much gas, depending on gas fees. And that, that's a fair consideration to think about You have 14 days to stake. One thing to consider though with staking, um, you know, one unknown is like when Richard Hart is going to launch Pulse Chain. So, not financial advice at all. You make your own decisions. I would probably, I'm probably going to mint within that first, in trying to maybe time gas fees as best I can the first couple days, just to assure that I can mint, you know, let's say, and this is actually another question. So this is good. We're bringing this up. So let's say Richard Hart pulls a fastball and like launches Pulse Chain in the middle of the MAXI mint phase. And so how that would work is anyone that minted MAXI before that would be able, they get their copy of MAXI on Pulse Chain. Anyone who didn't mint before that would obviously, receive your copy of your hex on both chains. And you would just be able to mint on both separately. So not a huge deal, but I definitely want, just to assure that I get that copy of MAXI so I don't have to mint on both. The original question was, does it cost gas to mint MAXI? And yes, it will. It's just a transaction on Ethereum. So let's see. You said, appreciate you addressing the question and transparency. We can have it all. LOL. Ready for my Maxims. Let's go. Awesome, man. Excited that you're with us. I'm bullish as all. Let's go, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys too. I wonder how many MAXI mentors there will be. That's a huge question. I mean, very, very curious to see what that is as well. No idea. Our community is kind of blowing up right now. Shout out to the channels that have been hosting us for interviews. That's been really, really helpful. And honestly, if you guys have a channel and you want to have us on to chat about Maximus, kind of a hot topic right now, so we'd be happy to come on and share about it. So that's been a huge driver for our community. Last time let's check our Twitter. So our Twitter is about to cross 1,900 followers, and our Telegram. Our Telegram's it's over 1,100. So yeah, that'll be really exciting to see how many people mint MAXI. And it's cool, man. I hope there's a lot of people that mint a little amount, because a big driver behind why we're doing this is for smaller stakers, to really save them on gas fees and enable them to lock up for 15 years and get that yield, and not get screwed over by Ethereum gas fees for sure. Andrew said, by my calculations, you shouldn't sell your MAXI for less than the price of 10 hex based on the future multipliers. Plebe math. Yeah, man. That's another really interesting thing that's going to play out, is that market price. Big unknown. We have no idea what the market price will do. And it comes down to, what everyone decides their MAXI's worth. And everyone's going to have a different model there. One thing we're going to try to provide to our community is a solid dashboard, just to be able to try to best understand the value, that backing value of your MAXI. So, I already built a calculator that I can share with you guys. Excuse me, I got some burps going on. Yeah, so I built a calculator in just Google Sheets that lets you play around with forecasting value. And the unknown variables you can play around with are essentially hex price, like at end stake, average daily T-share payout, what share rate we're going to lock in. You can play around with the total like MAXI minted, and then the hedron price. The one variable that we will know once the stake starts is like the the minimum mintable hedron. So that's one cool thing about hedron is like once you start a stake, you'll know how much, without bonuses, how like a baseline of how much hedron you can mint. So that's cool, that we know that variable. And yeah, so you can play around with those variables and kind of see like the redemption value per maxi, and that could be helpful with. Maybe I'll drop that in chat right now if you guys want to play around with it. I will preface, like, this is, I gotta say this, educational and entertainment purposes only. No promises of like future gains, but it is fun to play around with. And I've been asking people what they think, like even the hex prices, what the hex price will be in 15 years, and no one said under $100. And if that happens, you guys can play around with this and just see, one max will be worth a lot for sure. So, all right, I just dropped that calculator. So how you use that, basically you just create a copy, and you'll be able to, I made the variables that you can play around with blue. So just play around with that, and it's fun to see. Maybe that'll help you try to understand the value of a Maxi token. To me, it makes me very, very bullish. Yeah, one thing I've been thinking about a lot, and this came from Dipcatcher in one of our conversations. He said that Maxi is a T-share time machine, and as we talked about that more, what he was talking about is that, like, in 5 years, and when there's liquidity market or a liquid market, you can essentially buy T-shares at the locked-in rate from when the Maximus contract stakes. Like, that's huge, guys. If you understand Hex, you know that, a T-share today, the rate you could lock in is huge. And so it really opens the door for you to be able to continuously buy into a stake over time, as you get more money and you want to buy more into a stake. So that liquidity optionality of Maxi works two ways, right? Like if you need to sell some Maxi, you can sell a portion of your position just by selling your Maxi, but you can also buy into it, which is huge. So you can actually, for the first time, grow your stake, which is crazy. Think about that. Like I've always thought about that. The one, I wouldn't say downside, but just reality of staking Hex is like the amount that you can stake is the amount that you have at that time. And, once it's staked, you can't add to it ever. It's just, it is what it is. With Maxi, you can grow your stake, and maybe you're able to buy it at a discount. Maybe someone dumps the price for whatever reason, and you're able to buy those T-shares at a discount. That's a possibility for the future. God, I'm like out of breath right now, guys. I was like running around on the beach. So I'm like, I feel like I'm trying to catch my breath. I don't know what's happening, but Naeem said we should have a Maxi league, like Staker League. That'd be cool. Yeah. That'd be really, really cool. Yeah. Naeem, we'll have to come up with our names for that league. That'd be fun. Gosh, guys, I'm so excited for this project. Hex Love said, "Grow your stake, game changer." I know, man. It is. It's like, it's crazy. The power of Maximus has really been revealed over time. It wasn't like we knew. There's been some things that, when we initially started this, the main value prop that we were thinking about was just gas fees. Like we were like, by pooling stakes and consolidating into one gas fee payment in that is huge for a lot of people. And that was like where it started for us. And then over time, we kind of realized like the maximum yield part with pooling was the second value prop. But the thing to me is, or actually no, the maximum yield was huge as well. And then the liquidity aspect was huge. And to me, over time, the liquidity aspect is like probably the greatest value proposition, for both being able to maybe lock in some gains if you needed to sell or wanted to sell at a premium, or buying into a stake and growing your stake is huge. That's like revolutionary. So it's been cool to watch that develop. The look of excitement on your face gets me excited, bro. Let's fucking go. Dude, I'm so excited, man. I'm so anxious. I was like we got the audit done, which was huge. I wasn't stressed out about, like, full faith in Dip Catcher. Shout out to him, man. Like, to be able to pass a security audit at one go, like, that's amazing. So shout out to him, man. That was huge. And once we have this test take done, we're ready to go. So I'm trying to stack as much hex as possible. Really trying to lock in that 1-to-1 rate for mint phase as much as I can. But again, like, I'm gonna try to mint as much as possible. Not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to mint as much as possible. But the great thing about Maximus is, like, you can also buy in later too, and that rate will probably be at a premium from that 1-to-1 that you get with minting, but probably still at a discount. There'll be opportunities at a discount from, like, what that MAXI is worth, which we can cross our fingers for. But again, that's kind of an unknown as well. So we'll see. Our Life Money, what's up, man? If you sell your MAXI, do you lose your stake? Yeah. So whoever holds the MAXI, and this is a great question, by the way, because it's come up a lot. So whoever holds the MAXI, when redemption starts or during the redemption phase, can redeem the portion of, like, the value, the backing value that each MAXI represents, however much MAXI you hold. Whoever holds that has the ability to redeem the hex principal plus interest and hedron from the pool. So yeah, MAXI is valuable, and it will always have that backing value. And so it doesn't matter who mints the MAXI. It just matters who ends up with it at the end of the day. When the stake ends and redemption phase starts, anyone with the MAXI holds the power, which is really, really cool. Yeah. So when you sell your MAXI, you're essentially selling your position in the stake. And then when you buy, you're growing your position in the stake, which is cool. Great question. Let's see. I'm going to go through notification on Twitter and just see if we got any questions. Dude, it's so cool to see how excited people are. So someone said, what if I hold extra MAXI? Can I earn more than my share of the is someone hex that hasn't been redeemed? I don't know how to. Can I earn more than my share of the? That's I can't read that sentence. I'm sorry. Someone said, so you hold the MAXI token you receive when you join the pool to claim the redemption rewards. So the Maxi, like if you were to just mint your Maxi and hold it till the end, you could think of that almost like staking on your own, except your Maxi token represents your T-shares. Like that's how I try to simplify it as much as possible. Um, so essentially, it's just like a more simple way to stake. You just mint your Maxi with your liquid hex, that gets staked, and then you just redeem it at the end for the hex and hedron. So, but again, back to what we were just talking about, you can also, if you sell some of that, you're selling some of your position in that redemption, or you can buy some more and add to that redemption value. So let me see this. Dude, it's so okay. Another really exciting thing is just seeing people like buying hex to mint Maxi. Like that's a big goal of ours. And it really worked out with Hedron incentivizing everyone to like stake their hex, and then we're re-incentivizing people to buy hex. So very very good buy pressure on Maxi, and it might, we'll see what happens when we announce the launch date. I don't know if we'll create that much buy pressure, but always good stuff. Someone asked, will Maxi token USD value be same as tokens redeemed for USD value after 5555? No. So you can think of Maxi as having two values. So there's the redemption value, which is the backing value, which is, if you were to hold on to your Maxi for the whole stake and then use it to redeem, that will be equal to a certain portion of that pool in hex principal plus interest in hedron. Then there's the market value, which is set by liquidity providers, right? So we have no control over that. Big unknown as far as what people are going to value Maxi at. So there will always be those two values, and we've like tried to explain how we think that relationship might go down, as far as like the market value might trend around that backing value. It probably be very rare if it was just like the same all the time. But there will be times when the market value might be above that backing value, and that's a premium, or it might dip below, and that's a discount. So premium, maybe you want to sell some to lock in some gains. Discount, you might want to buy some more, right? So those are opportunity zones. See if there's any question on stream. All right, Life Money said, will it just be one pool? Someone mentioned there is a max hex amount you can stake. No. So there was a stream by some other streamers that were talking about Maximus, and they thought that there was going to be a cap on the amount of Maxi minted, and that's not true. I'm not saying that they were like trying to put out false information, but their thinking was that the 10% bigger pays better bonus maxes out at 150 million hex. So there won't be a max amount. So yeah, the door is open for people to mint as much as they want. And if we hit 150 million hex, that's a lot of money. That would be awesome. But again, we have no idea as far as participation goes. And it will, so for Maximus, it will just be one mint phase and one stake. So after that mint phase is over, that's the only time you can mint Maxi. 100% of the supply will be generated, and then that all the hex used to mint Maxi will be staked with hex for 5,555 days. J Love said, so Maxi is free for non-hex stakers? No, Maxi is, you need liquid hex to mint Maxi. So there's no airdrops, no free claims or anything. Maxi is 100% backed by hex. So in order to create a Maxi token, 1 hex needs to be pledged to the Maximus contract. So no, it won't be free for non-hex stakers. Non-hex holders would need to buy hex in order to mint. Thanks for the questions, though. Yeah, guys, if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them. I'm going through our Twitter notifications because there's been some questions there. Let's see. How does one go about acquiring Maximus? Just owning liquid hex? Yeah, so there will be 2 ways to get Maximus, right? Or MAXI tokens. One is during the mint phase, which is a one-time event, 14 days, where anyone can mint 1 MAXI per 1 hex. And then once that is complete, and actually if someone created a liquidity pool during the mint phase, you could buy it on market, but very likely to be the same rate, just because if someone says that price wrong, there'll be arbitrage very quickly where someone will just buy someone else's hex and then mint more. So probably start around that 1-to-1, but you could acquire it off market and not mint if you wanted to. So those are 2 ways you can get MAXI. If at any point after I mint MAXI from a 555 stake and then I sold the MAXI, can I purchase the MAXI back before the stake ends? Would that even make sense? Yeah. So if you minted MAXI and you sold it, you sold your position, so you wouldn't be able to redeem anything. And if you wanted to buy back in at a later date, you can do that. Let's see. One day I'm going to be efficient and actually write down the common questions that are in replies on Twitter. Is there a known maximum ROI for participating? Can't this be calculated based on hex staking bonuses? Is there a known maximum? No. So as far as ROI goes, the only variable of this whole calculation that we know is minimum mintable hedron, which we'll know once the stake starts. All the other variables as far as hex price, hedron price, hex daily T-share payout, which will determine, the redeemable hex along with the principal, right? So there's definitely some unknowns. And again, I shared the calculator a little while ago in the chat. So if you guys scroll through that, you can play around with those variables. But as far as knowing the ROI, it's not known. Okay, so we got some questions. Let's see. Ahek says, so we will get 1 stake on ETH and 1 stake on Pulse for the price of 1. I get more excited by the second. Let's go. It's true, man. That is why our big goal has been to launch before the fork, because it's a 2x, and it's also going to be, one thing I'm excited about is just to see how each one performs on each chain, right? Who's to say which one does better? I don't know. I think Maximus being kind of like one of the first movers on Pulse Chain could have good effect on as far as like demand goes. We'll see though. Yeah, that's going to be really, really fun to watch, but it's a 2x for sure. And also, and this is something I need to actually create a V2 for the calculator or the forecast calculator. Is like, I didn't put in a 4x hedron bonus that will likely lock in if everything goes smooth with into the test phase, and we launch shortly after that. I think we're shooting for a 4x hedron bonus. So that's a 4x on both chains for the life of the stake. So yeah, a lot of stuff to get excited about for sure. U-Boat says, what's up, man? At the end of stake, you will need to use all your MAXI to redeem your hex. No. So, another proportional option there is you get to choose how much MAXI you redeem at a time. And this is actually something I haven't talked a lot about, but someone brought up like and you know, I'm not a tax expert and I have no idea if this is true, but it's definitely something to look into. But being able to, you know, redeem a portion of your holdings, maybe you split that up over, you know, different years or something for tax purposes. Definitely something to look into. Again, I'm not a tax expert and I'm not giving advice here, but yeah, so you can redeem as much or little as you want to at a time. Art Life Money said, when is the last chance to mint? So the 14-day mint phase will start at launch. We haven't announced the launch date yet. So once we do, you'll know the start and end date for that. And that will be the only mint phase that ever happens. 100% of the supply for MAXI is generated during that. So the only way to buy is if the original people that mint sell. Yeah, correct. So yeah, it'll be, you know, it's like MAXI is like going to be so valuable that it will be really interesting who wants to put their MAXI up, you know. Yeah, so that's really what it comes down to. On Ethereum, you know, with V3 pools, like people can provide one-sided liquidity, so that'll be interesting. With PulseX, it's V2 pools, so someone would have to put up equal amounts of both. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, the original people that, well, actually, okay, so actually on top of that answer, it's not, so let's say someone mints and they sell their MAXI, the next person that holds it could sell it too, right? So again, it goes back to whoever holds it at the end of the stake is the one that gets to redeem. So it could change hands as many times as people want to sell. So all the MAXI will be used when stake is ended and completely paid out. So someone has to actively redeem with MAXI to redeem that hex principal plus interest in Hedron. So if people don't do that, then the hex principal plus interest in the Hedron will sit in the contract until it's redeemed, and there's no time frame for redemption either. So yeah, it sits there until it's redeemed, which could, you know, will be its own game theory then, because it's like MAXI will be very deflationary. You know, the yield aspects of the MAXI token will be decided because the stakes ended, right? So though, like, the amount of hex redeemable and the amount of Hedron redeemable are known, but there's also, you know, the two unknown variables of hex price. So that could change after time, and it's deflationary. So it's like, who knows what's going to happen then? But it could be another like very exciting period for MAXI. I have no idea what'll happen there. Great questions, guys. Thank you so much. If anyone else has questions, feel free to hop in. I'm gonna pop over to Twitter to just see any questions. You know, I think the biggest question is that have been coming up. I think, like with Hedron launching and just people just come and understand that, I think people are coming over to Maximus and like kind of bringing the same paradigm of things that are happening with Hedron and kind of viewing it as the same. And I think the only thing that's like similar is that we're both solving kind of the same problem of liquidity. And so with Hedron, like you can create an HSI stake, right? And you tokenize it, and then you can sell that entire stake. So therefore, like you have a liquidity option out, you know, that optionality with liquidity by selling your stake. With Maximus, it's more tokenized and kind of more proportional. Like you can sell, you don't have to sell your entire position. You can just sell the liquidity you want to. which kind of opens the gate there. But some other things with Hedron that people have been coming over with is kind of like, do we get an airdrop? How do we get MAXI? So that's very different. We're not doing an airdrop. MAXI is 100% backed by Hex. So in order to create a MAXI token, you have to pledge 1 Hex token, right? So a little different there. Yo, huge shout out to Naeem for the amazing memes he's been creating. Keep that up, man. Those are really cool to see. You're a genius. They're really awesome. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on chat questions. All your max premium hacks wins last year. I think I've answered these. I think this is new. Someone has to use the last of the MAXI to completely drain the stake. So the stake ends. I'm trying to understand. Someone has to use the last of the MAXI to completely drain the stake. So someone would have to, not the stake. So the stake ends and then the redemption phase starts, right? So like to drain the Maximus treasury, which is the same thing as just like the contract address, someone would need to burn the last remaining MAXI. But the stake ends before redemption phase starts. Good question though. Just a lot of questions about launch date, which I think I touched on. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of replies. The more I think about this, is crazy game theory. It really is. And I'm the same way. Like, and there's even, when I have conversations with people about it, there's much smarter minds thinking about it than me, and seeing them light up and are thinking about the future of MAXI. It's very exciting. The stake funds, yeah. So the funds in the Maximus treasury, once someone burns the last MAXI through the contract to redeem, it's all gone. Yep. Awesome, man. I'm glad you guys like it. Trying to find some. I feel like I had so many questions in here that I was gonna like hop on, so I'm just trying to scroll through, but a lot of engagement on our Twitter right now. Yeah. So okay, I'll address one thing that I've been reading. So people have been wanting, like, why not do 5 different stake pools where it's like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So I can kind of address that. So our original idea was to create a stake that like rolled over every 30 days. But there's more downsides than benefits there. And so if you think about it, like, why would you want the like a staking ladder with Maximus? Or in general, why do you want a staking ladder? And the answer is that you want liquidity, right? Traditionally, with the native stakes, you create a staking ladder so that, over periods of time, when that stake ends, you have the option to either reinvest, like restake, or pull it out, right? And that was the only available liquidity option, was a staking ladder. And a lot of people have taken advantage of that, which is great. The downside of doing that, though, is one, you have to pay a gas fee every time you end the stake. Two, if you're restaking, you're staking at a lower T-share rate, so you're missing out on the rate that you locked in. And three, the thing with staking ladders is that when you're picking those dates, they're like arbitrary dates that you really don't know. You're like, when I built my staking ladder, I was like, maybe I'll need it in 5 years or 10 years. Maybe I need it at this age or this birthday. And you're just kind of shooting in the dark. You're like, I don't really know. So the benefit of Maximus is that it provides that optionality with liquidity without sacrificing. So you don't lose out on your T-shares because you've locked in the best rate of T-shares for 15 years. You can liquidate at any time. And so that goes for, if you, at the time when you actually need liquidity and you need to sell some of your position, you have it, right? Like, even if you staked 5 years, like let's say you needed it at 3 years, well, shoot, I still have to wait to benefit there. Or even if it's like at 5 years, you're like, well, do I need it at 7 years? Right. So, and final thing is just like not having to pay in-state gas fees every cycle there. So you can only, you just liquidate your position there without having to pay gas fees every time. So I've explained that a few times, but it's a fair question. But it kind of, it challenges the traditional hex thinking with staking ladders. And I think that's what's like pushing people to think that way. But like Maximus really revolutionizes that, where you don't have to necessarily think in a staking ladder. Let's see. So our Life Money says, if it 1-1, how will you know what your share of yield is? Pretty simple math. So, I mean, you can just think of like, let's say, and just for hypotheticals, you meant 5 MAXI and 100 MAXI total was minted. You own 5% of the pool. So when the stake ends, you have a 5% claim to the hex principal plus interest and the hedron. That's a simple explanation. Evo says it's all correlated. It is. Yeah, so I hope that answered the question on as far as like doing shorter stakes versus a 15-year stake. If you guys have any follow-up questions on that, let me know. But that's just my thinking on it. Yep. So Maximus will not have a sacrifice phase, only the mint phase. And we push for that difference a lot because I personally view the mint phase for Maximus very different from like the sacrifice phase is going on. You are minting your own tokens. You're not, sacrificing for a political statement, and hoping to receive promise coins in the future. When you mint your MAXI token, you instantly receive them. Okay, this is a question that comes up a lot. Does it affect my other stakes? And the answer is no. So when you think about Maximus, you should consider it as if you were just starting a new stake. No effect to your other stakes. And that's really what you could simplify this down to, is just like it's just a different way to stake with your MAXI tokens representing your T shares, essentially, if you want to simplify it. No airdrop, answered that. Ooh, Nime's dropping. Champion 10% shares. Master Gladiator 1%. Diamond Gladiator. Ooh, I like these a lot. These are great. Bronze, rookie. Yeah, these are great. I love that. Yeah, those are really, really good. All right, I got to screenshot those. Hi, bro, from New Zealand. What's up, John? How you doing, man? Welcome, welcome. On the other side of the world. It's very cool. Okay, let's see. I feel like I've touched on kind of the main questions that keep coming up. If you guys aren't familiar with Hex, highly recommend getting a good understanding there. Because once you understand Hex and staking, Maximus should be pretty easy to comprehend. Yeah, I would start there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them. I'm trying to find some common questions I can answer. So is there a time frame on redemption? No. So there's no like good accounting there. Once the stake ends and the redemption phase starts, you could redeem from the pool in 20 years after that. It doesn't matter. Or you could redeem right after. No airdrop. But if I'm in my... So someone asked, sorry for my... But if I mint my ETH hex to MAXI, then after Pulse comes out, I have lost my Pulse copy or not? No. So when you mint your, because we're launching before the Pulse chain fork, when you mint your MAXI on Ethereum, you'll receive your MAXI copy on both chains. Both chains, yep. Yeah, those are. I feel like I touched on all the current questions right now. I hope that helped you guys. If you guys have any other questions, got about 5 minutes before I've got hop off. Got to go hang out with my parents. Going to dinner. So I'll finish with some updates. So the test stake in. So we're doing a public test, which is kind of the last step before we announce the mainnet launch date. So the test stake on Pulse Chain Testnet is live for another day, and then the stake can be ended. So in 2 days, essentially, the redemption phase will start. We'll probably do that for about a day, and then we'll announce Pulse Chain, or we'll announce the mainnet launch date. So maybe about 3 days. So ways to get ready for Maximus: buy Hex. That's all you got to do. Stack your Hex right now. Really good price. 13.6 right now. I'm about to buy some too. So stack your Hex. That's what you'll need to mint. So the 14-day mint phase will start at launch, and that'll be an opportunity to mint 1 Maxi per 1 Hex. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, we've got a very vibrant community on our Telegram, which is t.me/Maximus DAO. So MAXI. I'm messing it up. MAXIMUSDAO. That's our Telegram. And then our Twitter is Maximus_DAO. So Stay tuned both places if you want to learn about the launch day, and that's where we'll be announcing. So other than that, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday. Thank you all for stopping by. Roof Dog, you're the man. Thank you, man. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. Trying to hop on every day just to answer questions. A little unprepared, but I hope I was able to, answer any questions you guys had. And if you have any more, just hop over to Telegram. But appreciate you guys, man. Very, very exciting. Naeem, thank you so much for hopping in, man. Hope you have a great weekend. Talk soon.